conversations. Let's have real conversations.
Get ready to stir it up.
Life events and everything in between. Let's go.
Get ready to stir it up.
No capping. If guests got you covered right up.
Get ready to stir it up. Stir it up.
Come on.
Get ready to stir it up.
Welcome to Stir It Up. Today is a bit of a different version of Stir It Up. We're starting with cocktails. We normally end with them. And so I've got Robert with me.
Hello.
Hello, Robert.
Hello.
Robert and I are going to be talking about Neurospicy.com. And it's themed around surviving normal, thriving differently.
Thriving differently for sure.
So let's start with this. So normally, at the end of each episode, I mix a concoction of sorts,
Okay.
and I ask people to taste it, and then they tell me what's in it. But you and I know what's in this one, so we're not going to pretend like we're going to go straight into it.
Okay.
So we will start, and you've already even started.
Was there something in
Child
this?
of God. Anyway,
Nothing.
there's nothing in it.
Okay.
Stir it up. Welcome.
Thank you.
And there I go.
Cocktail. Ice and drink. Thank you.
Ice and drink, thank you. And as you see, the beginning, it's upside down. So I can imagine you can expect a completely upside down episode today. Because it's two upside down people talking. Right.
But together we make it right side up.
Exactly that. You see the thinking? Good. Right. How did we get to this conversation?
We were talking, and I think one of us brought up the fact that it was you. You said, I'm having trouble focusing on what you're saying because I'm thinking of many other things.
Yeah.
And I said, I know this struggle, and you might want to get checked.
Are you calling me neurospicy?
I am not calling you anything. I just said you might want
Once
to
again.
because we had a half-hour conversation. I think we only talked for about 10 minutes about what we were supposed to be talking about.
True.
Yeah.
Like many of my conversations.
Just digressing off on a tangent, and then I think it came around to it's a differentness that I understand.
Okay.
And then you said, why don't you talk about it some more? And I said, sure, will there be cocktails? And you said, yes, and here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, when you say cocktails, and everybody assumes there's something alcoholic in it.
I assumed there was alcohol. There's no alcohol?
There's no alcohol. So yesterday, Eugene asked me, do you drink coffee? I said, I couldn't drink coffee. He says, why? I said, I'm always so hyper that drinking coffee, I think, will push me off the edge. That's what I think.
Is it a thing you've experienced?
Because every time I've drunk coffee, I feel like I'm buzzing.
But are you hyper?
I think I'm a bit hyper.
Really?
I have I have ebbs and highs and ebbs, right?
Yeah.
So
As anyone does.
there are times when I'm more on the...
That is kind of weird because they say for people that are spicy, like you are suspected of being by other people, not me, obviously, caffeine and other stimulants actually bring you down and help you regulate a bit more.
Okay.
And I think that's why the majority of like ADHD drugs are stimulants to get you to a point where your brain can quiet down and you can focus. So caffeine does that for me. That's why I love a good Monster. And I would have thought coffee would do the same for you. So I might be wrong in my suspicions.
I'm going to start calling you Dr. Robbie.
Thank you. Thank you. It's in the family.
Do you have any doctors in your family?
My sister.
So she's sharing her degree with you.
We're all doctors by proxy. I mean, if you think about it, we help.
Anyway, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think about it, my father was a doctor, so I think I can diagnose people all the time.
It just passes on like osmosis. They should give us all licenses. Yeah.
So when you're deciding which doctor to go to, do you then say, original license or proxy license and then decide.
Then you ask, are you a doctor, or do you just feel like you're a doctor? And you have to be honest with
I
it.
feel it. I
doctorish.
feel like I'm a doctor.
I feel like I could be doctorish right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, when did you, Robert, realize that you process the world differently?
I don't know.
Okay, fair answer.
I think I know that growing up, it was the 80s, and children like me were, like the problem children, the cheeky children, the noisemakers, the ones unable to sit through a lesson. I think the common comment in my school diary every week, after all the complaints from teachers, so they'd write them in your diary, so your parent has to sign it on a Sunday, and you're in lots of trouble, and then you take it back on Monday, and they make sure that your parents saw what you've done. And one of the most common comments was, Robert would be much better if he could only focus. Robert is gifted, but is unable to. So it was all this, a positive mixed with a negative, and
Potential mixed with what's
holding
you back.
Yes, and I am the problem. I'm the one holding myself back. If I just tried, if I just applied myself, then I could be great. And I realized it's really hard for me to feel like I'm applying myself or fulfill my potential, because things, school, exams come easily. But because they come so easily, it's very easy to get bored and think about something else. So I'd be reading above my grade, or I'd be passing exams, but very hard to do the day-to-day stuff. But I didn't see it as a form of spiciness, because that wasn't a thing. Back then, you were just difficult or problematic. And then after high school, I remember I had to try and hold down a job, but it was hard to find something that stimulated me. And
Where stimulation meant or stimulated me?
stimulating my mind. I think it's very hard for me to stay on task if my mind isn't into it. I saw this all through university. I think I bounced through 3 different universities and never actually finished any of them, because it bored me to death. I knew that I was smart enough to be there. I knew I was smart enough to do what I needed to do. And in some, I'd even do the exams without having gone to a single class. But it was the dullest time being in class, sitting down, being told you have to end up being freed from the shackles of primary and secondary school. Now you're an adult, you can go to class on your own.
I can make that decision.
I made all the wrong decisions, yeah. So after that, I sort of just decided to join the workforce and try and find something that interests me. And I think after about 2 or 3 jobs, someone mentioned ADHD might be a problem. I thought, don't know what that is. Sounds like fun. How do I find out? And there was a psychiatrist called, and I went to see him, and he did the full diagnosis, and he was like, you're riddled with ADHD. Wow, here's a bag of pills. I want you to take these constantly, and they will help you be like focused and
Be normal, be like normal people. But what's normal?
He used that word, normal. I think being spectrum-ish, people just see you as different, and instead of seeing it as a different way of being, they just see you as different from what is the norm.
Okay.
But I think you'll find everyone has a little bit of something, It's just to what degree do you have it? And according to the man with the bag of pills, it was to a severe degree, and these drugs will help.
Bring
me down. And they brought me down to the point I was just like a drooling zombie, just no light in the eyes, just listless, going from task to task, able to do the task, but there was just no joy, no curiosity, no spark. And that's the first time I thought, okay, maybe he's wrong and I'm right as always. And I stopped taking them. And so now, with that diagnosis in my back pocket, I must have been like maybe 22 or 23. I decided to just keep living my life the way I know how, the best way I know how. And found a career that I enjoy, advertising, which was tailor-made for a brain that can't do one thing. And I love the fact that today you can be an expert in aviation, tomorrow you're an expert in like breweries and then banking and then FMCG,
Telco.
whatever it is. You
Could be selling milk today and be
Right.
selling what?
and you have to be on top of it. With the cows, are they okay? Are they full of rinderpest and anthrax? Because that will affect the price of milk and how consumers perceive it. And that means our messaging has to talk about anthrax free. And then tomorrow you have to understand how global airlines work and how you need to get people on your plane, because no one wants to go to, and you can come to or something. And that kind of different hat every day, I think, fit me to a T. And it didn't really give any thought to being a different kind of person for years. And then in between, obviously, relationships were just hard to maintain, really shambolic. And I always thought, it's not me.
It's them.
Can't be me. Have you met me?
I'm perfect.
I'm perfect. I'm great. And then I think I had to take a really hard look at myself a couple of years ago, and then met my lovely wife. And she made me feel like I need to get it together. If there is something to this whole, your brain might be the problem thing that I kept hearing from people we'd break up with, like, oh gosh, you just need to go to therapy. I'm like, no, I don't. You need to go to therapy. I'm fine. And I tried it. And that whole process, I think, is what really opened my eyes up to just what divergence is, what ADHD really is, what it looks like, how it affects me, how I can manage it, etc. So my journey really started only like maybe 3 years ago.
Got it. So you've said a few things that I want to circle back to.
Crap.
And my mind is going to be in a straight line.
No, it wouldn't, but just circle back, go around in circles, it's fine.
So let's talk about some of the struggles you experienced that led you to Dr. So that, like, the everyday struggles you had that led you to Dr.
Okay.
And then we will go into what were those things in the relationships you were in that made them, as you described it,
Untenable.
untenable.
Yeah.
Well, that's a new word. That's not how you described it before, but we accept untenable.
Untenable is a good word.
It's a good
to
word.
describe how they went, yeah.
Right? And then let's come to that, right?
Okay.
Because it's good to kind of talk about how it features. And then maybe we go into why you looked outside of you as the problem versus inward. I will remind you of the 3 questions
Thanks.
I've
I've
asked.
forgotten everything you just said.
Right. So the first one was, what were the challenges you experienced? What were some of the things that sent you to Dr. Jenga?
So right after high school, I went to Strathmore College, was a college then. And, under pressure from my father, who wanted a little clone of himself. I'm an accountant, my son's going to be an accountant, we'll hang our shingle, Wanyeki and Son, CPA. And I found it hard to be there. And I think, because there's a mindset that shifts once you come from primary high school to university, now I'm an adult, and you have to start sort of making your own decisions. And my decisions kept leading me to, I don't want, I don't feel like, I can't, etc. And I could exercise those feelings for the first time. So Strathmore, difficult time, managed to pass one module. And by then it was time to go to Catholic University to do a BCom, because accountants do BCom. It's just how it goes. Bored to death, hard to focus, outside's a lot more fun, missing classes, doing fairly okay in exams. And then in my second year, okay, bounce on to USIU, and again, same cycle of nothing's interesting me here. Class is a drag. Being outside is a lot more fun. I'd rather experience life than be told what to do. And all these things started showing up as a pattern, because for the first time now I am free to do what I want, and then you start seeing the signs of what you want is not in line with what should be. So after that, and I think another stint at KCA and then University of South Africa, bounce, I started working. And even that didn't hold any joy for me. And I think that's when someone suggested it, and I looked back and I realized, okay, there is a pattern of avoidance, something called pathological demand avoidance. There's a pattern of not being able to fully commit to one thing. And I think that's what made me want to find out more about it, because I thought, well, this is awful. Can we say bad words on your podcast?
No.
This is bloody awful. This is
That's bad enough, but it's fine.
As sweary as it gets. But yeah, this is awful. This can't be life.
Yes.
Because I will be a street person in no time.
Yes.
So I sought that help.
Got it.
But that help came in the form of pills that killed my spirit. And I thought, I might rather be a street person than live this hollow, drugged up life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's good to hear that picture, right? Because it's all around making choices, but at the same time, just realizing that you're not able to settle down.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The relationships, how did it show up in the relationships? Without going into any detail you're uncomfortable with, but what were you like in some of those relationships?
I would say the biggest way it showed up was emotional regulation.
Okay.
Right? One of the fun traits is this complete inability to react rationally to stimulus. And a small problem would catastrophize in my head and seem like this huge, insurmountable obstacle in the relationship. And then with we need to try, we need to do this, the pathological demand avoidance kicks in, and now you just shut down because I don't want to do it. Now that you've told me I need to do it, I don't want to. So I'm just going to slowly shut down or be a bit of a bad person and force you to make the call in the relationship.
And walk away.
And walk away. And that way I can, keep my crown as the victim. Like, oh, did you see that?
It's your fault.
I was trying so hard. I don't know if you saw me trying, but she just left. They'd be crazy. Yeah. So it kept repeating in that kind of way. There'd be escalations where there didn't need to be escalations. There'd be... there was never boredom in the relationship, like I'm tired of being with this person. But I think it would show up as, I'm not stimulated in this relationship. Let me try and add some stimulation to it.
Okay.
And you add stimulation by causing problems. Suddenly, ooh,
So you don't like peace?
I love peace. Now that's the paradox.
Explain it in diagrams.
Okay.
Should I give you some paper?
If you have crayons will work great. On a big sheet of paper. When you are, and I think it comes back to even the way they treat ADHD, your mind is constantly seeking stimulation. And you will do it by either being distracted by something or thinking about something else, or anything that gets the mind to feel like it's got a dopamine hit is what really gets you going. So in a relationship, it looks like you will subconsciously do something that will lead to
that
some
dopamine
sort of-
hit.
That dopamine hit.
That excitement or some unrest or discomfort or conflict
to
or...
feel something. You just want to feel, your brain wants to feel like it's felt something different from the norm. So anytime there'd be like this quiet period,
Love.
you start thinking, this is broken. Maybe she's trying to leave me. oh my God, she's cheating on me. This is now the worst thing in the world. And see, now that's already gearing up the brain. It's giving it all the adrenaline it needs because now you've created a catastrophe where there was none. She was just chilling. But in your head, you've created a scenario and your brain has made it your reality. I know. I should gulp too.
I don't think I've ever drank on Stereotype before. Like, I always drink at the end. This is the first time I'm having anything. This is a wonky episode, I must say.
Let's keep it wonky. It makes things interesting. Adrenaline.
Okay. And obviously they will react with trying to fix, I
mean, they'll react in whatever form they'll react in.
Yeah.
For you, you just need that simulation. So if they try to fix and they have a logical path to whatever it is you're going through, and remember, not a lot of people understood where this is coming from. Some might just think you were brought up badly.
Or you're brought up badly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Or
selfish,
inconsiderate.
Or inconsiderate, or just
A bad person. Or you like fighting.
Just constantly looking for trouble, you know? So it would be, there's no problem. My brain creates a problem so that it feels that dopamine hit. And then that problem becomes a reality and I'm unable to escape it. I'm unable to stop.
Because you're then caught in your brain, right? Because you can't, the idea that she could be doing this or she is doing this then becomes this big thing that you can't just even forget or wipe out.
It becomes everything.
It becomes real because it's almost like when you think about something, it becomes real.
Yes. So in your world, it's real. And the emotions you're feeling about it,
they're real.
They're not emotions that you brought on to yourself. Like, that's not how you see it at all. You reacted to a situation that to you is very, very real. So if you went out with your friends last night and I am in the house feeling deeply insecure, then I will craft that scenario in my head. And then when you come and you just had a good time and I am being completely unreasonable about it because in my head, I know you were snogging a dude. I know it here. And that will now create a problem that we can't get away from because you're defending something that doesn't exist, but I can't get away from it. So it would show up in silly ways like that, you know, or just complete emotional shutdown when you tell yourself you're being stoic.
This goes into the last one, which is, why did you not ever see it as something that was you, but always someone else?
It's very easy to externalize that when you don't know what you're dealing with. Because to you, remember, you're not seeing yourself create a situation that doesn't exist. The situation exists. That's all your brain knows. It doesn't go through the steps of you created this. What you were was smart enough and astute enough to see this thing for what it really is what your brain says. The brain lied.
Hey.
Chale.
Oh, you said Chale.
I was going to say Chineke and I realized wrong country.
The wrong country.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. Making friends. What was that like for you as a teenager?
Easy.
Okay.
Looking back, I know why it was easy, but then, you know, you're a teenager, you just assume you're cool or popular or just so damn lovable that people want to be your friends. For some reason, people have always gravitated to me. And even when I'm not doing anything to earn that, they'd still just show up. People want to tell me their problems and they want to share with me and they want to hang out with me. And I'm thinking...
Somebody wants to hang out with you?
On purpose. No bribe or anything.
Planned?
I know. And here I am thinking, when you're a teen, it's, you know, it's fun, it's cool. I have a big circle of friends and we're doing wild teen things. But with the, you know, magic of hindsight, I realize it's because when you mask, which is something that you do as a spicer, we'll come up with a term for it. When you mask...
I'm fine.
You like spicer? Okay, we'll call it spicer. When you're a spicer, you mask a lot. And the outer projection is usually a reflection of what environment you're in. So I think it was easy to make friends because I would be a reflection of who these people are in that situation. So
Was it exhausting?
I didn't realize it, but yes. My mother tells me I'd get home in the evening and just be out of it, crashed out completely, and it's 4 p.m. While the other kids are ready to go and play, I have absolutely no juice left.
Okay.
And what she'd do is she'd feed me a stack of bread with jam and blue band and like a hot cup of cocoa, and suddenly I'd be off again because now the sugar's kicked in. But we always thought it's, oh, because you haven't eaten, you just need to eat, and then I'd be
Eat
sent
something.
Eat something,
Like when I
African
have
mothers,
a headache in the office, the first question that you ask me is, have you eaten?
Like, when did we make that the go-to medicine for everything? Your problem is you haven't eaten. I've heard it a few times in the house as well, but it was exhausting, and I always thought it was just, it's been a day of being a child, so you deserve to just feel exhausted. But as I got older, and again, I'd say it's just been, I've worked hard all day because another thing is when you find what you enjoy, you tend to hyperfixate and really throw yourself into it, and you will give it your all so long as you enjoy it. So I would put in silly hours, I would be very dedicated, driven, and be exhausted at the end of the day. But then coming to learn what masking was, I realized it's because the whole day I've had to be someone else, and I can't wait to get home and stop being someone else. Just take the mask off along with my shoes and just...
Kick back.
For a moment, actually not even kick back, just stop. Because you've been on the go, your mind has been on the go. It's been analyzing expressions, trying to understand them, trying to see what you should respond to that expression or what someone said. Did you interpret it correctly? Second guessing yourself. And the playback that goes on in your head when you're alone. I should have said this, or did I behave properly in that situation? Like, you second guess yourself so much because you weren't being you were playing a part. And now you're dissecting your performance every day. So you get home tired, and then you get a little more tired, and then fortunately you forget what you were thinking about and move on to something else until it's time to go to bed, and then it's just you and your thoughts, which is fun.
Sleep. What was sleep? What did sleep mean to you with this?
It meant insomnia up the wazoo. One of my sisters, her name's Rosemary, would constantly ask me if I'm okay because, like, she was in the States, we'd be talking across time zones, but I'd always be awake. I'd always be there because it would be very hard to sleep when you can't keep your brain quiet. And I think this was just when things like the internet and technology were coming into play. So distractions were few and far between. And yeah, so sleep was a really tough one for me. So I'd be up until maybe 4 or 5 in the morning and then have the best sleep of my life between 5 and 6 and then off to do it again until the next day, or you'd find something that you enjoyed, a show that you enjoy, and you would completely consume everything. Remind me to talk about that consume everything part later. But yeah, so sleep was obviously a drag, but I think as I got older or I became more aware, I've learned what it is that I need to do to sleep. It's almost like I've had to train myself into, I tried this once and it sort of worked. I'm going to do that thing again. And then you do it and then another thing works. So you add it to the mix. So right now my sleep is sound. Like, I will hit the pillow and I will be out so long as there is some sort of noise. There's a video playing, the TV's on, something. If there isn't, then it's just the noise in here, and that doesn't make for good sleepy time.
That quieting down of your brain, does white noise help?
No. It has to be something either familiar enough for me to be able to follow without being so engaged that now I want to actually see what's happening.
Okay.
So I'll rewatch like old videos or old shows that I've watched, turn the screen off and just have the sound because I know what's happening and that takes me away. But if it's too interesting, well, we'll sleep tomorrow or when we're dead.
At work,
Yeah.
what are the labels you've received?
In my early days, it was very much the same labels in school,
Okay.
Yeah, you could do better if you just focused. And then as I got into like a career that sort of worked for my brain, clown, but like easy to get along with, easy to work with, fun to work with,
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about humor.
Smart once.
Sorry?
I heard smart once.
You had smart ones, just once.
Years ago.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
yeah.
Because, I mean, it had to be years ago.
It had to be. But I'm working towards my second one in this lifetime.
You've got give or take 30 years. It will come.
I have time.
You have some time.
I have
Yes.
time.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking humor.
Yeah.
What role does humor play in, because, I mean, we're always making jokes about everything.
Yeah.
Even serious things.
Yeah.
In one of the episodes I did very early on Stereotype, Carol had said, and Carol's a therapist, she said humor is a big coping mechanism
For what?
for many things.
For this dark world we live in?
Yes. And I had responded in jest and said, well, then Ghanaians are all coping because we have all these corrupt politicians. We live in a country where we can't make ends meet.
You can only laugh.
And so, yes, we laugh about everything. We make memes, we make jokes about every single thing.
Yeah.
What role does humor play in how you navigate?
I think it's a big part of the mask.
Okay.
Right? There's a slight inability to, how do I put this? Really empathize with people. You know what I mean?
You can't empathize with people.
I find it's a bit difficult.
Okay.
And humor also is part of that. Trying to come across as a well-rounded, fully functional member of society. Humor, makes you likable. And if you're likable, then you fit in. And if you fit in, then no one will see that you're not all there.
Got it.
Yeah, so humor is a great tool for, and also because sometimes you'll say the wrong thing or act in a weird way or do something that just makes people, question you a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that to fall back on because no one really takes you seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the other things that I hear a lot in the office is, that's just Robert.
Like, it's expected.
Like it's expected. And then they'll all have a laugh because I've built that sort of persona that I will say something outrageous or I will do something that's completely unexpected or unusual. But for me, that's a way to sneak in my real unusual and unexpected proclivities, you know? So humor helps.
Okay. When does humor not work?
Because of how hard it is to read people, you will make dead parent jokes at the worst time, and you're off laughing, or maybe someone's quite ill and you'll just burst out laughing because, again, what's the correct expression here, So again, if you've built that persona that, he's just a bit like that, then it helps you get away with it.
I like that we're having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I do like it because I think it normalizes certain things that people will hold shame for. That's the
Yes.
first thing.
Yes.
And you shouldn't hold shame for something that sometimes you might not have control over or something that you genuinely feel.
Yes.
You just need to learn to navigate it, yada, yada, yada.
It's a navigation.
So that is one.
Yes.
But on the other side, it's also good for other people to know who and what they're dealing with. Because here I am discovering that whether I'm alone or whether I'm sad or whether I'm happy, Robert doesn't care. So look at my face. Now I'm even really, I'm having a funeral here, right?
And I'm trying to read your expression, but my brain's telling me, should I eat when I get home or...
Because
do I
your
go-
mind is not there, right?
No, my mind could be here. It's
Yeah.
just not interesting.
Yes.
Your sadness, your loneliness.
It doesn't really matter. But it's good for other people to know
Yeah.
because it helps them also navigate life. It helps if they're dealing with people like that because then you don't take things too personally. And I say that because there are many people who are going to be in relationships with someone who is on the spectrum, on the higher end of the spectrum. Well, I don't know if there's a higher and a lower end. I don't know how it works. But who's going to be a bit more spicier, as since we're calling them spicy,
Yes.
okay? And so it's important to pick your battles and know, okay, the fact that the person is responding this way is not a bad thing, or this is how I should expect the person to respond. So it's good to have this kind of honesty in the conversation.
To an extent.
To an extent, yes.
an extent.
Tell me
It
why
is.
you say to an extent, though.
Because there's a lot of unsaid that goes on
Yeah.
that, even in the most gracious of company, you would be hard pressed to justify why the hell you just said something like that.
Got it.
Right? So humor, usually very dark, very gallows humor, because again, it helps cover up the gaffes that I may make, when you tell me, oh, well, I just lost my grandmother. I'll go, first time, because to me that's funny. And
Yeah.
it's a meme that I remember from the internet, where there's a guy looking like this and saying first time, but you're thinking about your dead grandmother,
Yes.
not what's going on in my head.
Yes.
And then, because I am now the gallows humor guy, you won't expect it much.
Yes.
But sometimes you might actually be going through something so painful that I did not recognize or realize or connect with, that I just come off as a class A butthead.
Or being insensitive or
Or cruel.
Or cruel.
Almost cruel.
Okay. Would you say that how would you feel if someone described you as cruel?
Would hurt my feelings, I think. I say I think because I don't know how much thought I'd give it. It depends on who said it
Okay.
and in what context. But if it's someone very close to me, I would actually be a bit taken aback.
Okay.
And the emotional dysregulation part of me now would overcorrect on that. So either see it as a personal attack for some reason, has nothing to do with me, but what are you going to do? Or you now start avoiding this person because you feel like you've overstepped a boundary and there's no coming back from it. Because in your head, you think they may think the way you do, and that's the way you would react.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's talk about the things you care about. I know two.
Tell me.
I know you care about your mom. I know you care about your wife.
Yes. Switch the order.
Well, I just said it in whichever order. I know you have an audience.
Brownie points. What? Switch the order.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I know that. And we make the jokes of, when Robert's on the phone with his wife, you can tell, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about the things you care about and why those are the things you care about.
I think you just listed them.
Okay.
Yeah. There's obviously, my sisters to varying degrees. My brother, there's a father in there somewhere. Animals, small ones, helpless ones. I hate to see an animal in any sort of pain or suffering. And then little old ladies.
They have to be little.
Yeah, just little, what we call like shosho-esque, like very who would abandon their grandmother like this? Pulls at my heartstrings so much. And then I guess everyone else still, yeah.
Now, what gets this community of people or these individuals to that care list? And what keeps them there?
Family, by virtue of being blood, I guess.
Okay.
We have no choice. My wife, because I choose to. And I think the rest is just sort of, I guess, emotional cues from growing up. You know, I was close to my grandmother, and I would never understand why anyone would do that. We had cats when we were young, so again, would never understand why anyone would mistreat an animal. So I think it's cues from childhood that have told me what I should care about. And then to make it to the list, I really just have to choose to let you be on the list. It's like turning on a switch. It's something that you say, I'm going to do this. And it's done, as opposed to something that grows or builds or slowly becomes part of you. Yeah.
I have always said that caring about someone is a choice.
Yes.
And I get a lot of pushback on that. But I do. But what you say now, because once you decide, then you act accordingly.
Exactly.
Right.
Very
and
intentional.
So you're intentional about it. And so you can't have a long list of people. I mean, you can try and be as magnanimous as you want. You can.
But who has the strength?
But who has the energy?
Right? Give your all to the ones that you choose to. And like, I don't have any close friends. I think I have one friend that I haven't seen in like 3 years or talked to in like 4 months. And it's fine. That's our relationship and it works great. Apart from him, I can't think of anyone else I'd call a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about hacks. Life hacks.
Gosh, I hope you have some for me.
I have 0 for you.
You thought I had some?
I'm asking if you do.
Oh, no.
We're sharing.
Oh, wow.
Me right now, I need many life hacks.
I don't know. Stimulant.
Okay.
It's first thing I do when I get to the office is just take a few minutes to enjoy a nice month and a cigarette and get my head into the game. Prepare to mask, decide what that mask is going to be today. Am I slightly rushed and a bit on a deadline kind of guy, or am I loosey-goosey and here to joke with you kind of guy, or am I troubleshooting, problem-solving, pistolero, or like what am I going to be today? And then put that mask on and then get on with the day. And that helps me know how I'll be navigating people, how I'll be navigating work, what it is I'll be able to do. After the mask, wow, getting work done, that's a tricky one. Because of things like, what's it called? Pathological demand avoidance, when someone tells you, you should do something like this. If I was in any other environment, I would immediately rebel against being told what to do. But because I know I'm at work, having put on the mask that I put on this day, the mask to me knows that I should just do this because that's what I'm paid to do. I am Work Robert, and Work Robert is here to work. So get to work and do what you're told. And it helps me get past the little sort of stumbling blocks that would be in the way.
Yeah.
Still struggle with things like, if I can't get my mind into it, I will not do it. No matter what threat hangs over my head, it's almost physically impossible to do it. And that one I'd love a hack for. It would be great. In relationships, some of the tools that I was given in therapy actually really helped. One, just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. And as simple as that statement sounds, it made me realize, yes, this reality that I've created isn't the world. I'm doing this. I mean, I can stop it. I have the power to stop it. And it helps in navigating that. Taking time to go through your emotions, because a huge thing we have is impulse control issues. We are impulsive. It means impulsive with money, impulsive with what you say, impulsive with what you do. You have such poor impulse control that you will eat an entire tub of ice cream because it's there, or you will blow through your salary on the first day because it's there and you want to. And there's no one stopping you.
You want to or you don't want to?
You want to. Like, deep down, you know you're doing it because you want to. It's going to make you happy. This little burst of dopamine that you get from it. You find a new show and you should savor it. Enjoy it in little bits and bursts. No, I'm going to stay up until 6 a.m. God, I'm exhausted. I have so many regrets. Worth it though.
Yeah.
So that, navigating that, yes, is being able to sort of try and let your emotions process before you respond.
Understood.
Right? So that has also helped me quite a bit. And also just, I think, being open about it helps you understand you and helps people understand you. Yeah, and that makes it easier to navigate. Yeah.
Cool. Please, which mask are you wearing now?
So when I came in, and haram, let's get this over with. That's the real me. Okay, let's do this. That's the mask. In deep in my soul, I'd rather not be here.
Deep. So then why are you here?
Not that deep. Because sometimes you have to do things even if you don't feel that you want to. Others that never leave the house. Deep, not that deep in my soul, I hate leaving the house. I hate seeing people.
We might leave this in the edits,
And that's fine. I don't think there's anyone I have in my life or work with that doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll constantly say things like, why do you leave immediately? Like as soon as something's over.
What you mean is 4:59?
4:58 if I can get away with it.
Okay. But I think you should start just taking the stairs.
I could do that.
Yes, if you're trying to avoid me hugging you down for no reason.
Oh, no, there's no avoiding you. Your door is right by
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So take the stairs.
There's no stairs the back
There is
way.
a stairs. There's an emergency exit next to the kitchen. You didn't know that. I've been there 5 minutes.
That. I've been thinking about out the window
Yes.
as an escape
You don't
route.
need a window. Go down the stairs.
Poop. Really?
Yes, you didn't know. That door that is next to the kitchen, what do you think it is?
If I had known that, I would be, first of all, fit. I would be...
You'd be fit as a fiddle.
Physically fit and free of UTIs and...
You're not going to go down that line about these UTIs and holding your pee.
road. So the way our office is set up, if you're trying to go
I'm
back to
keeping
that-
this in the edits just so you know.
If you want to go to the toilet, you have to pass the MD's office, right? And
Careful how you frame this.
Cool. So sometimes maybe you don't want to have high-level, high-powered conversation with your boss. So you'll sit in your chair, bursting out your bladder, and laying the groundwork for kidney stones and a UTI. But you'd rather that than have to walk past there and have a conversation. So it became a running joke before, and now it's not so bad. But now I know about an emergency exit. So hey, I will see you when I see you. Yes.
But you'll be going down 5 floors.
I'll go down 12 if it means I don't have to talk to people.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a weird thing about people. I dislike being in a social setting so much.
Okay.
So much. Whether it's fun times or at a party or a family occasion.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I really understand that.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, listen, when you don't know better, you think people are either one thing or the other. So they're either an introvert or an extrovert. I, over time, have learned what I would rather do. And even though I'm very good with people, and I care about people. You don't know that, do you?
I heard.
You heard. I'm happy you heard. Which birdie told you that?
I heard it around.
So, and I will spend the time and I'll have the conversation. And I'll have my TED evenings and I'll have dinners and all of that.
I'm so sorry.
If it comes down to it, what would I rather do? Come home, make my dinner,
Yes.
put it on the tray, put on a movie,
Yeah.
eat that dinner, talk to my children,
Yeah.
switch off my phone, coil up back in bed,
Yeah.
read my Bible, and then go back to my movie and fall asleep.
I mean, is that not a perfect evening?
Listen, it is so perfect, it's
Oh
not
my
even
God.
funny,
and
right?
then people will tell
and my
you,
kitchen
no,
will be spick and span.
the space you're in is wonderful.
My space is clean.
Oh my God.
And you know what I mean? There's nobody to move something for me to start looking for something. When I put something here, it stays there for 5 years. You know what I mean? So
I
if I'm
get
going
it.
to be really honest, would I rather have a lot of people around? No. You know. But then I've learned to also be social, you know.
Learned?
Well, I am social. But when I say I've learned, I can be, but it's not the default.
You can be.
Yeah, I can be.
Yes. Like you know how to be social.
I'm not socially awkward. I'm the last
No,
person to be
no.
socially awkward.
Master people are really awkward with it.
I'm not socially awkward. But
Baby.
would I rather be doing that? The answer is not a yes.
So you've got your social persona,
Yeah, I do.
the one that you'll take outside, almost like a mask, some might say. And then you've got your real persona, the one who would just love to be in their space and not have to talk.
Yeah.
But you can put on your outside hat,
Yeah.
have a conversation over some sort of meal and call it a win, but get back to your space.
Yes. So a long time ago, there's this picture that my partner had put together of me in a nightshirt fooling around in the kitchen and me in a short dinner dress on heels.
The
He
duality
says,
of
these two
man."
people are not the same person.
But they
You know?
are.
Right. But I used to laugh about it, but it's true. Right.
They're not the same person?
They are not the same person.
Okay.
They one of them is well put together and does the right things and is, you know, is charming and is like a power-packed pill.
Yes.
The other one is the little girl just fools around, makes breakfast and sits down and folds her feet under her chair and
Happy.
eats and huffs it down and just cracks foolish jokes, right? So really, it's one physical being, but just there's a childlike version and then there is this mature version. And they don't always sit in the same space.
They truly don't. I think it's hard to get the childlike version accepted outside of your space.
Or is it?
Oh, yes. People will judge. People will judge whimsy, curiosity, any form of, you know, you're not projecting the right image kind of nonsense. So you will always have to.
So when I do those little 5-minute bursts of exercises or 5-minute bursts of dance in the office, are they thinking I'm crazy?
They, no idea. Me,
Let's hear this.
I am thinking of different ways to put a stop to this.
No, but you know it's not going to stop, right?
No, I mean, there's like quick fixes.
But you've been
to-
dodging it. There's another guy who dodges. As soon as it starts, he closes his machine. He says, I need to go to IT. I say, sit.
Oh, that's cool. I'll use that one. I was thinking pull fire alarms or start an actual fire. Like whatever will make this stop, I am willing to do. Yeah.
But you've been lucky. It started whilst you were away.
And you'll be back soon.
I'll be back
So
soon.
matches on the shopping list.
Okay, all
Matches.
right.
Got it. I'm ready.
Don't worry, I'll just make sure I have like a fire extinguisher close by. And I'll make sure you're standing next to me when I start ringing the bell. So you
There's
don't
a
have
bell.
time. I have a bell. You
There's a
didn't
bell
know.
as well. Oh,
Yes, I do have a
joy.
bell. Anyway, let's talk about myths, assumptions about being neurodivergent. This is the first time I've used the word neurodivergent.
Yes, in a neurodivergent podcast.
In the conversation
what a
about
label.
being...
What are
It is a
labels?
hard label, isn't it?
It is.
Because, there are many mothers who have kids who are neurodivergent or on the spectrum somewhere. And there are many young people who have their own struggles, or friends or partners or whatever. And there are many myths that go around. So let's go down the list.
Okay.
And it's truth or myth, okay?
Cool.
ADHD is just about being hyper.
Bull. That's
It's
a
bull.
myth. Yeah.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
ADHD can also mean being inattentive, forgetful, or daydreamy. It's not just about bouncing off walls.
That part. You see that qualifier at the end?
Okay.
We also get very literal. So you're saying it's bouncing off the walls, but in addition, it is
No,
also...
it's not saying that.
Kind
It's
of
saying
is.
that most people make the assumption it's
That it's
about bouncing off the walls, but that's
can
not what it.
also
But it
include-
could also be that you're just inattentive, or it could also be that you're forgetful, or
And
you're
That's
daydreaming.
the part that I'm arguing.
That's what you're arguing.
That's
Okay,
what I'm arguing.
let's go.
Because people think it's bouncing off the walls, but can also be all those things. And it's an oversimplification
Okay.
of what it actually is. It's an abundance of attention. People think it's an attention deficit, but what you have is too much attention going on.
ADHD is lifelong. Many adults are undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for decades.
Truth.
Okay.
Fully true.
Only kids have ADHD.
False.
Okay. ADHD is not motivation. It's not a motivation problem. It's a brain wiring difference affecting executive function.
Very true.
Okay. People with ADHD need to try harder.
Bite me. I mean, false. I've heard that a lot in my life. If you just applied yourself, if you tried.
Okay. ADHD means you are not smart.
False.
ADHD has nothing to do with intelligence. In fact, many people with ADHD are highly creative, highly insightful, and have a high IQ.
I'll say true on that one. It sounds good.
Sounds good for you, eh?
It sounds like, yeah.
It sounds like,
It's
yes.
like a superpower, yeah.
The next one is everyone's a little ADHD these days.
True.
It's actually a myth.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's true.
We're all on the spectrum somewhere.
I think there is, because they say to diagnose ADHD, you have to meet several requirements, not
Yeah.
just the one.
Exactly,
You can't
yeah.
be forgetful and say, whoops,
Yeah.
OCD. But I don't know, maybe it's just the circles we run in, but it feels like
Maybe it's, and I guess advertising is a fertile ground for people who are a little different.
It's a magnet for loonies. I mean,
We are not loonies. I take
differently-
exception to that.
Differently abled people. It's a magnet for
Special people.
special
That's even worse, isn't it?
short yellow bus people. Yeah.
Anyway,
But
so
yeah,
the next
it might
one
feel
is
like it's true, but it's not, yeah.
yeah. So the next one is being occasionally distracted isn't the same as having a neurological condition that affects daily life.
True.
Okay. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder, largely genetic, not a result of parenting style or diet.
Very true.
Okay. ADHD is caused by bad parenting and too much sugar.
False. Too much.
Medication cures ADHD.
False.
Medication can help manage symptoms, but ADHD is a lifelong condition that often needs multiple strategies.
True.
Okay. People with ADHD can't focus on anything.
Lies.
It's
Slander.
lies. Lies.
I'm affronted.
Many can have hyperfocus on things they find interesting, sometimes for hours without interruption.
Very true.
Okay. ADHD is overdiagnosed these days.
I think it's not diagnosed enough.
It's a myth, though. But I hear you that there are lots of, because we have said that there are many people who live with it and don't even know, right?
Could be an African problem.
ADHD is often underdiagnosed, especially in girls, women, and people of color.
Very true.
Right. ADHD is an excuse for laziness and bad behavior.
See, that's just hurtful and completely false.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling hurt right now?
I'm feeling, some of these things, as we joke, actually trigger things that, you've heard over the course of your life. And there's a little part of maybe a bit of a raised heart rate, but outwardly calm and cool and collected, masked. Yeah.
ADHD is an excuse for, we've done that already. ADHD is a legitimate medical condition, and blaming individuals only creates shame and stigma.
Factual.
Okay. You didn't do badly.
I did?
No, you didn't.
Did I score?
We're not scoring you.
Is there a grade? Is there prizes?
There are no prizes. The prize is that
I learned something today. The prize is knowledge.
you get to help other people feel less shame.
Or all the people that I should care about.
All the people that you care about are either in this room or at home. There's just a few of them. There are not that many. Let's go into making life better for yourself and others. What kind of support do people living with ADHD need from family and friends and from the workplace, from the people closest to them?
I would say understanding without labeling.
Okay.
You don't need special treatment. You just kind of need to be left to your devices. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't need velvet gloves and being mollycoddled. Oh, let's be nice to him before his ADHD erupts or whatever people think happens. I think the support we need is understand that, yes, I do things a bit differently, and let me do things differently if it gets the results. Like, for example, in the workplace, I may not be able to sit at one desk day after day.
Do you even have a desk at your workplace?
I haven't seen it in years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Years.
Years. I think it's been almost 2 years since I saw my desk.
But it exists. It's somewhere.
It's got to be somewhere. It had stuff in it. There were papers, I think a notebook. I don't know. I just haven't been back. And then they've moved stuff around. But other people's desks are much better.
Yes. When they're not there or when they're there, you just sit there anyway.
I think it's a bit delicious either way. Yeah.
Got it.
So being able to work freely in whatever form that takes in your brain, I think is such a huge help without being confined to the normal way of doing things, quote unquote. For family and friends, again, I found that surprisingly, I had a conversation with my father maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and we don't talk much. But this time, I don't know how this came up, but we wound up talking about my misspent youth, bounced from uni to uni, and the money still hurts him,
How much you spent?
Yeah, oh my goodness. It lives here, rent-free. And he was like, yeah, you just did not understand why you were always moving. And I don't know how exactly, I don't remember how exactly it went down, but we wound up realizing that he is very much the same way. And for the first time in his 80-something years, he was like, I've never understood why you were the way you are until today. And I realized it's because I also was the same way. So as family, I think there was always that perception that can't focus, can't maintain, lazy, unmotivated, whatever. And I think being able to understand if you have a family member that is a little spicy, what that looks like and how it can manifest would really help in your relationship with them. But that doesn't mean you start treating them differently or with kid gloves. Kid gloves, that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
And relationships, I think it helps to have a partner who's also spectrumy. You know, I got lucky, very spectrumy. So while some of the similarities may lead to a lot of the same conflicts, the understanding also comes in just as much, if not more, of like where this is coming from.
So you know when to pull back, you know when to give space, you know when to connect.
Sometimes it'll escalate before it de-escalates, but I think in the resolution period, there is a lot more understanding that comes than was granted before. There's a lot more grace that I've felt, being with someone that gets it, being with someone that is similar, being with someone that has a lot of the same traits.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
When you can see it.
When you can, and also when there's that acceptance of what it is, isn't it?
Yes, that part,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Adjustments in daily life for others.
In what way? Like what they should do?
No.
Oh.
So do you ever feel like you've made adjustments? So apart from masking, what big adjustments do you make in daily life for other people?
None.
None. Okay.
Previously I would, but now it's very much, if it's not what I want to do, then I will not.
Does that come with age? What has gotten you to that point? Or does that come with just the knowing? What got you to that point?
I think a little bit of both. Of course, as you get older, you get a bit more discerning about what you want to experience. And also understanding that this is me and I'm not just being contrarian purposes. It helped me to be able to say, you know what? No, I don't need to make accommodations for this person right now or ever, and move on. So, yeah.
So, as we wind down, I want you to take parents, teachers, and kids, or people living with ADHD, and let's see what we share with them. What do you want to share with them? If it's one thing for each grouping, of how they can be better caregivers, better support systems, because they're part of that ecosystem.
They are informative part of that.
A very and they define a lot for us.
They really do.
As youngsters growing up. So what would you say to a parent, maybe a father or a mother, or both? And what would you say to a teacher in primary 5 who has a kid with ADHD? And what would you be saying to beyond the
parents, teachers, and the kids themselves?
And the kids themselves.
I'll start with teachers. You can't punish normalcy and obedience into a child that's on the spectrum. And I think all you're doing is setting them up for a lifetime of therapy. And I think for them, teachers especially, spending most time with their children and seeing them in situations that they're still trying to learn to navigate, I would say patience, and also learn the tools that will help this child. Be a bit more conversant and aware of what neurodivergence is, what it looks like, and how you can encourage this. Because growing up, you were going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. And if you weren't within those very straight lines, you were a little weird. Musicians were, just different, will never be successful. Artists we didn't even talk about. So we're all taught to paint within the lines, and I think teachers should allow children, teach them just to forget that there was painting at all and let them go do something else.
Got it.
Yeah. For parents, it can be difficult if you don't know. So I would say if you know the signs to look for and you start to see them in your child, you can help them develop in a way that doesn't excuse what it is that they might be going through, but actually helps them navigate it better as well. And as for the kids themselves, you're not lazy, you're not inattentive, you're not a troublemaker, you're not cheeky, you're not a disruption. You know, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't know. You are who you are, and I don't think you should let anyone define who that is for you. Yeah.
It's very interesting. As you said that, one thought that came to my mind was how a lot of people on the spectrum are perceived as being rude.
Cheeky, rude, just because the filter, if you haven't learned to keep it in, a lot can just come out impulsively.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How painful has this been?
It was quite painful, I will not lie, but you helped make it just that much painless.
Excruciating.
It is. It's outside. I don't know what to tell you. It's conversation. It's not being in my house. Yeah.
You'd rather be in your bed.
And I'd just rather be at home. You know, it's nice. All my stuff is there. So I really like it. Yeah.
But thank you for doing this, Robert.
It really was a pleasure. You've made it fun. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you to Mrs. Robert for being here with us. You're not seen or you're not visible, but you're somewhere there.
I comes.
Get ready to
You're appreciated.
I did.